It started with a phone call that shattered everything I thought I knew about loyalty. My fingers gripped the receiver so tight my knuckles turned white. The kind of white that matches the lace on a wedding gown you dreamed of since you were a kid scraping by in a cramped apartment in suburban Chicago. "Sarah." "Honey," my mother's voice slithered through the line like smoke from a dying fire. "You have to understand. Your cousin Lisa's going through hell right now. That divorce hit her hard. And seeing you walk down the aisle. It's just too much." I stood there in my tiny kitchen, staring at the engagement ring glinting under the fluorescent light. The one my fiancé, Alex, had slipped on my finger during a quiet picnic in Millennium Park. "Mom, this is my wedding. We've booked the Botanical Gardens in Lincoln Park for next month. Deposits paid. Invitations out." Her sigh was heavy, laced with that familiar guilt trip undertone. "Can't you delay it? Just a few months. Family sticks together in tough times." The words hung there, unspoken accusations piling up like unpaid bills. After a lifetime of being the overlooked one, the reliable fixer in our messy family web, I felt something crack inside, not break. Not yet. But fissure. Deep and irreparable. I hung up without another word. Turned to Alex, who was chopping vegetables for dinner, his brow furrowed in concern. "They want me to postpone because Lisa's miserable and can't handle my happiness." His knife paused mid-slice. "What are you gonna do?" In that suspended moment, the quiet rage I'd buried for years bubbled up. Slow and insidious, like poison seeping into groundwater. I didn't just say no. I decided to burn it all down. Growing up in our working-class neighborhood on the South Side, I was always the shadow to Lisa's son. She wasn't my sister, she was my cousin. But Mom raised her like a daughter after Aunt Rita skipped town, leaving Lisa with us at age 5. Mom poured everything into her: dance classes at the community center, new outfits from thrift stores made to look brand new, endless praise for her straight A's and her part-time gigs modeling for local catalogs. Me? I got the leftovers, faded jeans that never quite fit, and a pat on the back for my decent grades in graphic design courses at the city college. "Why can't you shine like Lisa?" Mom would say, her eyes lighting up only when Lisa walked in the room, recounting her latest audition or boyfriend drama. Dad, a quiet mechanic who spent his days under car hoods, would just nod along, his silence a wall I could never climb. "That's your mom for ya," he'd mutter later, handing me a soda as if that fixed the ache. Holidays were the worst. Thanksgiving tables where Lisa's stories dominated. My attempts at conversation met with distracted smiles. By my 20s, I'd carved out my own path as a freelance graphic designer, creating logos for small businesses in the Loop, finding solace in pixels and palettes that no one could overshadow. But the scars lingered. That quiet erosion of self-worth, like rust on old Chicago steel. Then Alex entered my life, crashing in like a summer storm over Lake Michigan. We met at a networking event downtown. I was pitching designs to a startup. He was the software engineer fixing their glitchy app. He spilled his coffee on my sketchbook, apologized profusely, and offered to buy me a new one. That led to late-night walks along the Riverwalk, sharing dreams under the city lights. Alex saw me, really saw me, not as the family footnote, but as the artist with a vision. "You turn chaos into beauty," he'd say, framing my face with his hands. For the first time, someone chose me without conditions. After 2 years, he proposed on a foggy morning by the Bean sculpture, kneeling with a ring he'd designed himself, etched with tiny circuit patterns symbolizing our connected worlds. It was intimate. Ours. A rebellion against the spotlight I'd never had. When I shared the news with Mom, her response was a flat, "That's nice. Have you checked on Lisa? Her marriage is falling apart." At our casual engagement barbecue in the backyard, Lisa showed up with a forced grin, hugging me while Mom chattered about Lisa's rising career in event planning. How she was booking gigs left and right despite the heartbreak with Mark. We planned a modest wedding at the Lincoln Park Conservatory, with its glass domes and blooming orchids, a place I'd sketched countless times, dreaming of vows amid the greenery. The date was set for early fall, when the leaves would turn gold, mirroring the hope I felt blooming inside. But cracks appeared soon after. During a family brunch at a Greasy Spoon in Wrigleyville, I showed venue photos on my phone. Lisa's fork clattered to her plate. "That's nice," she said, voice tight. Mom jumped in. Lisa and Mark eyed that spot for their vow renewal. "Remember, sweetie?" Before he cheated. Lisa's eyes welled up, and she excused herself to the bathroom. Mom shot me a glare that said, "Happy now?" I swallowed the lump in my throat, the old pattern re-emerging like a bad habit. It escalated from there. Inviting Lisa to help pick invitations at a print shop downtown. She teared up at every elegant design. "Sorry. It's just reminds me of what I lost." Mom called later. "Why drag her through this? She's fragile." I bit back my retort. Fragile? I'd been the one piecing our family together after Dad's layoffs, after Lisa's endless crises. For peace, I made Lisa a bridesmaid, though we'd never been confidants. She accepted with a shrug. Guess that's something. Alex noticed during vendor meetings, when Mom insisted on adding Lisa's favorite dishes to the menu, ignoring my nut allergy. "Your mom's always prioritizing her," he said on the drive home along Lake Shore Drive. "It's like you're invisible." The words stung because they were true, stirring that simmering resentment I'd pushed down for so long. The bridal shower at Alex's parents' cozy home in Evanston was the turning point. His mom had decorated with string lights and fresh flowers, but mine spent the afternoon whispering to Lisa in the corner, their heads bent like conspirators. When we started opening gifts, Lisa stood abruptly. "I can't. It's too much." Mom grabbed her coat. "I'll take her home. She needs me." As they left, I glimpsed Lisa's face in the hallway mirror, dry-eyed, calculating. Alex pulled me aside. "This isn't right. They're sabotaging you." That night, doubt gnawed at me, the psychological weight of years of neglect pressing down, making every breath feel like revenge deferred. The real betrayal hit 2 weeks before the wedding. At a tense dinner in Mom's outdated kitchen, the air thick with unspoken accusations. Dad poked at his meatloaf, silent as ever. Mom cleared her throat after dessert. "We need to talk about Lisa. This wedding. It's salt in her wounds." Lisa chimed in, voice quavering. "The conservatory was our dream spot. Seeing you there, it kills me." I set my glass down hard. "I'm sorry for your pain, but this is my life." Mom's eyes narrowed. "Postpone it. Give her time to heal. Family first." Alex stiffened. "We've invested everything. Money, time, hearts." But Mom persisted. "If you cared, you'd understand." Dad mumbled agreement, his cowardice the final straw. We stormed out, the door slamming like a gavel. The next day, Mom called again. "Have you reconsidered?" Her cold insistence ignited the explosion I'd held back. "No, Mom. I won't bend anymore." She snapped. "Then maybe we shouldn't come." My voice steady. "Maybe you shouldn't." Hanging up, I collapsed. The cost of this choice, isolation. The void of family, crashing over me like a wave off Navy pier. But beneath it, a fierce clarity. This was my revenge. Not violent, but a quiet severing of toxic ties. Alex held me. "You're not alone. We'll make this ours." I emailed the extended family, uncles from the suburbs, aunts in the burbs, explaining the rift without blame. Just facts. The fallout was swift, texts accusing me of selfishness, voicemails from Grandma railing about disrespecting elders. Dad called once, just apologize. Make it easy. Easy for who? Dad? Never for me. Lisa's messages alternated pleas and barbs. How could you do this to us? I blocked them all. The silence both liberating and haunting. A psychological scar that throbbed with every unanswered ring. Support trickled in unexpectedly. My design mentor offered to revamp our invites for free. Alex's brother volunteered as DJ. His family enveloped me, his mom adjusting my dress at the final fitting. Blood doesn't define family, love does. Walking through the empty family of the bride's seats at the venue rehearsal, tears came. But so did resolve. I'd pay the price of this choice, loneliness at milestones. The echo of betrayal, but it was mine. A week before the wedding, an unknown number buzzed. Lisa's voice, meet me, please. Against better judgment. I agreed. A quiet cafe in Andersonville. She slid over a folder, faded photos of us as kids. Her forced smiles under Mom's direction, text screenshots revealing plots. Mom orchestrated this. She put a deposit on the conservatory years ago for me. Non-refundable. When my marriage tanked, she flipped, couldn't admit failure. Told me to play heartbroken. Guilt you into delaying so she could repurpose it for my comeback. I stared. The depth of manipulation sinking in like acid. She's pitted us against each other forever. You're the scapegoat, I'm the puppet. Tears fell. I'm sorry. I let her control me. In that moment, I saw her not as rival, but victim. Our shared trauma, a bond forged in silence. We plotted in secret, her arrival at the ceremony. A public reckoning. Wedding day dawned crisp. The conservatory alive with autumn hues. As I walked the aisle alone, heart pounding, Lisa appeared mid-ceremony. I've been blind to the damage. Sarah deserves this joy, without conditions. Gasps echoed. Then Mom and Dad burst in. Mom furious. This is outrageous. Lisa turned, no. Mom. Your games end here. I stood tall. You've made me doubt my worth for years. Stay or go. But this is my day. Dad hesitated. Then nodded. She's right. Mom stormed out. Her control shattered. Lisa stayed as bridesmaid. Our vows sealing not just marriage, but rebirth. The reception pulsed with real joy, dances under twinkling lights. Toasts from chosen kin. Months later, brunches with Lisa became ritual. Dad joining. Apologizing for his passivity. Mom lingered on the fringes. Her olive branches met with boundaries. The cost? Fractured ties. Therapy sessions unpacking the betrayal's toll. But in Alex's arms, flipping through photos of Lisa and me reconciled, I knew revenge wasn't destruction. It was reclaiming silence into strength. Betrayal into truth. At the price of a family remade.